right?
It's like 13,800 or something like that. So it's almost now, I mean, if you were interested in collecting for PS3 or Xbox, you really have to be careful and do your research. I mean, don't go into a store and say, oh, that's a collector's edition for Gears of War 3. Go on Amazon and see if you can buy one new for the same price. It's a legitimate possibility at this point in the game.
On top of that, all the new collector's editions are... I appreciate you. All the collector's editions that are coming out on PS3, Xbox, even the new stuff, one thing that's always in them is, here's this downloadable content that you can only get with this game. So, what that makes for collecting, like, it's not like the statues and stuff, because the statues that they come out with are pretty cool looking, to say the least.
Yeah, the aliens, colonial marines, that was the only good thing in that whole
And wait, what's that down to now? Like 20 bucks? Because they're everywhere. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, my point is that if you're out collecting for PS3, a lot of the times there's no way to tell if that downloadable content is even still downloadable. And of course, in the future, they're going to shut down those servers that have all that info on it anyway.
And that's another good point of collecting for this newer generations, is because a lot of these games are focused on multiplayer now. In 10 years, it ain't gonna matter.
What do you guys think about the way gaming is now versus the games being first-person shooters?
Okay.
Madden?
Hang on. Here's my little rant. Screw you. I think game developers, companies, the people making the games are lazy today. They're putting out half-assed products because they know in a week they can release a patch. Now, back in the day, you put out a good game and you earned your reputation. If you put out a crappy game, then you had a crappy reputation. You know, they had to work harder to make sure that game did not have the glitches and the bugs and everything else in it. Now it's just, oh, let's just rush this out to make money, and Battlefield 4, exactly. I started the campaign twice on that, and just like that, for no reason, my save file was just gone, just disappeared. I didn't pick up the game or play the game for another like 4 months. And I finally put it back in and the patch downloaded. Now, on one hand, it's cool that they can do that, but on the other hand, stop being a lazy sack lunch and do your job. You know what I mean? Like, just give us
one caveat to that though is it the developer? You really think they want to put something out, or is it the publishers? Is it the whole marketing train that we're going to release this game on this day? We're going to get all this pumped up, and we don't want. We have to release it now no matter what.
Well, see,
like that's happening.
That's my point though, is if the game's not ready, don't release it. When Rockstar delays a game, I'm completely okay with it, because they're going to try to make that game as good as they possibly can before it gets into our hands. Now, when GTA 5 came out, the servers crashed, the online and all that, but when you got 17 quadrillion people trying to go online and play the game all at one time, that's going to happen. You know, I mean, the damn game made, what, $1 billion in the first 7 days. Okay, so if a company like Rockstar is like, hey, I know we said this was coming out on this day, we got to push it back 6 months. Take your time, because you're going to give me a better product from like, you know, the box, and not have to sit there, install the game for 20 minutes, and then, oh, immediately there's a patch. Why is there a patch on day 1 release on games?
So what you're saying is LJN was about 20 years too early.
So we're probably getting a little too off subject here.
To get the panel back to collecting.
Okay, well, let's bring it back.
On the subject of actually modern day collecting, have you guys actually ever purchased 2 copies of something that just came out, so you can have one like kind of stored safely away?
The last time I did that was the Mario All-Stars crap release that came out
on the Wii.
That piece of junk.
That's actually a good question. Not with modern stuff, but if I find a sealed game, NES, Super Nintendo, 64, whatever, I will not open it. I will try to find a loose copy that I can play. Even if I find a box game, I have a hard time, you know, like, I got Mike Tyson's Punch-Out box, and I don't have a loose copy, so I don't want to take that Mike Tyson out of the box.
Because every time you use that box degrades.
Exactly. Every time you open and close it, the manual gets messed this stuff, folded, bent, blah, blah, blah. See, this is where the OCD and stuff comes in.
This is why you shouldn't collect.
Yeah, like I got, even if it's a crappy game like Anticipation on NES, okay? I got that factory seal still. It's worth like 10 probably cents. But I still have a loose one sitting on my shelf that if I do want to play it, take it out, put it in.
But I mean, I think it's important too. It really depends on what your goal is collecting. If you're collecting to have a playable library only, then I wouldn't recommend getting complete games if you're worried about opening the box or using the game. Because, I mean, I'm like that too. I mean, I won't play something because I'm like, is it worth pulling it out of everything and messing it up? And that's really annoying. And so if your goal is to have a museum full of pristine objects that you don't plan on playing, then that's fine. But if you just want to collect to play, I mean, I wouldn't buy a card with the label ripped off to play it, but I'm also not going to buy it, a mint Castlevania X if I don't, to play, basically.
Right.
Yeah, there's a difference between having a collection of games you want to play and a collection of trophies. Just to show off and flex your money muscles, I guess. I don't know what else you call it.
So for me, a big deal for me is that the games, I know a lot of y'all, and probably most of y'all out there, collect the boxes, because like David here, he just got his box for his MegaMan 5, which is awesome. Now he's got 1 through 6 completely boxed, which is awesome. For me, if I have a box, like my Castlevania Xbox, I want it pristine 1 just because it's Castlevania. I love Castlevania, and I love that shirt because it kind of throws a thumbs up for it. But the big deal is that at the end of the day, I don't care too much about my boxes. If it's old and a little bit rips off, I don't care because I'm getting the game out to play it. I'm not going to sell the stuff unless if I absolutely have to for like my family, which we talked about.
We've all been there. I mean, you're young, or I guess most of y'all went to college. Look at me. But like I said, it's okay. I got this game I can play, or just sit there on my shelf, or I starve. So, man, let me take this stuff to the pawn shop or something.
Me, I'm kind of like stuck in the middle, I guess, because I love collecting boxes. Because I love the box, I love the artwork. To me, it's part of the experience. Or otherwise, why not just have the ROM? I mean, it's all part of the package of owning that piece of history, like I was talking about earlier. But me personally, I take the games out, put them up on the shelf, and most of my boxes are empty boxes, and I just have them, stacked up.
So I already have most of the games that I want. I don't buy games that I'm not going to play. Like Anticipation, I would never play.
Anticipation is actually kind of fun when you're
No,
like,
it's not.
no. Okay, remember when we were talking about playing bad games just because you get something out of them?
Yeah, there's also bad.
Excruciatingly painful.
It's like playing Taboo to Sixth Sense. There's no fun on it.
It's like, what is that? That's not that. Come on.
If I didn't collect boxes and manuals at this point, I wouldn't have anything to collect because there's like, 2 games left for Nintendo that I want, and I'm not going to find them. It's like Little Samson and, Stadium Events, which I had in my house for about 3 days, which was fun, but whatever.
But that's what I like, and me, I like, there's a lot of games on my shelf I've never played for. I like, for the very first time, experiencing it for the first time. What is this game about? What the hell is it? It's still, Shatterhand? I've never played that before. Actually, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I like that
See,
experience.
I've had those games. There was a time when I had like 700 Nintendo games, and I should have been on the episode of Hoarders probably. My garage was so bad. And I finally was like, this is ridiculous. I don't need all this. And I kept having to move. I got done with college, and it was time to go around. And I didn't have the funds to pay to move my collection. I didn't have the energy or the strength or any of that stuff. So I started selling it off, and I realized I really just wanted the games I want to play, and that's it. Yeah. So boxes and manuals are what I collect now. Basically, just it's a nice stay in the hobby for the most part.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said earlier, like I guess your lower tier and not as serious collectors is going to get what they want, and for you, you got everything you want for the most part. Now you just want to get the boxes and manuals to make it.
Everybody does things differently.
Which, if you want to go hardcore into collecting the boxes and manuals, is where it's at. Is one that exponentially increases the value of whatever item it is you have. And two, those are a lot harder to find than the actual games.
Especially in good condition.
Especially
Condition is a crazy thing with all that stuff. And upgrades, you can I could collect Zelda boxes for the rest of my life trying to find the perfect one.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, not only that though.
Oh yeah, I've repurchased games because the label was slightly better than what I had before.
I think we've all done that, actually.
Yeah, we have.
I replaced a Mike Tyson's Punch Out, which if anyone has like a really good copy of Vice Project 2, mine's label's coming off this nail in the corner. And I see just a little bit of gray underneath it and it kills me inside.
Yeah, my phone is not surprised that's what Pete has a little line over the top of it.
You can give it to me.